Devastating news. Deathloop got delayed from holiday 2020 to Q2 2021.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
So we're going to use it as a fun segue to talk about the PS5 and Xbox Series X launch lineups. Hello and welcome once again to Generation Next, GameSpot's weekly show all about the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Joining me as usual, we're 2 for 2, is Xbox Xpert Jordan Ramée.
Hello.
And PlayStation Pro Tamoor Hussain.
Absolutely throbbing with anticipation for new consoles. So excited.
Oh my god.
I wondered how you could top gushing. Like I said up front, Deathloop has been delayed. It's been a quiet week all around on the next-gen news front. So Deathloop's delay, let's just get straight into it, I think. It's been delayed to Q2 next year. Arcane Leon have said, it's the adjustment to working from home that has led to the delay. They want the game to be as polished as possible when it launches, and so they've made the tough decision to push to next year. But there will be an update soon, so I'm obviously quite devastated. That was probably the game that I was most looking forward to this holiday season. But, I'm also of the mindset that developers should take as long as they need to make sure the game is in the state that they want it to be when it launches. Evan, please insert Miyamoto quote here about a delayed game. Guys, what do you think? Tam?
I think it was pretty apt that a game about being stuck in a Groundhog Day-like loop, getting a delay has made me feel like I'm stuck in a Groundhog Day-like loop, given recent events. But yeah, Arcane has made some of arguably my favorite stealth games of this generation alongside Metal Gear Solid 5. So I am absolutely willing to give them whatever time, as if I have any say on what happens. But I'm glad they're taking the time they need to make the game they want to make and polish it and get it to where it needs to be, because they make exceptional games that really stick with you. So do whatever you need to. I hope that they give us a little more kind of to chew on about the games, like trailers, maybe some lore stuff. I'll take a few screenshots at this point. So yeah, do whatever you need to, Arcane, please. Jordan, what do you reckon?
I'm not as broken up about this as I was about the Halo Infinite delay. I do want to play Deathloop. I'm not as jazzed about it as the two of you are. I'm interested in it, to say the very least. I like the idea of playing as two black characters in a 1960s inspired setting, and both of them are trapped in a literal cycle of violence. I think that idea is cool, and I want to see where it goes, but in comparison to the Halo Infinite delay, which was the big seller for Series X, PlayStation 5 still has a few first-party titles tentatively scheduled for 2020, and so whereas Halo Infinite kind of makes the Series X's launch lineup a little bit of what is it gonna look like? Losing Deathloop is okay, it's a disappointment, I guess, but PlayStation 5 still seems to be in a pretty good place launch lineup, all things considered.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned launch lineups, Jordan. What a segue. Because the big feature this week that we're going to be talking about is something that I like to call a dream launch.
Dream, 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 dream.
Yes, Dream Launch. I introduced it like it was a game show, but in reality it's just a feature where using what we know of the games that are coming out this holiday season, as well as what we hope, what we dream, what we pray will be coming out this holiday season, we're going to create a Dream Launch lineup for both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. Let's do the PlayStation 5 Dream Launch lineup first. We've got 5 categories. We have exclusive, console seller, GAS, games as a service, fun little acronym, indie darling, and wildcard. Please, Evan, insert It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia clip here. Thank you. I'm just assuming that he's done it. It'd be really awkward if he didn't.
I hope he doesn't do it. I hope he doesn't do it. I really hope he doesn't do it.
Wildcard, bitches! Yeah!
Let's start with PS5. What is the Dream Launch exclusive? Tam, I'll come to you first.
I'm going to pick a game that doesn't have a release date, but has been in development for quite a while, if rumors are to be believed. I'm going to pick From Software and Blue Point Games' Demon Souls remake.
This is a shocking
You're
pick from
wild,
you.
Lynn,
Oh,
thinking that either Elden Ring or Demon Souls remake is coming out this year.
Listen, I didn't say it's definitely coming out this year. Let me dream. I am
Your dreams are unrealistic.
Jordan, you and I have gone for the same one, which is more.
Yeah. See,
realistic.
this is why I'm going to make the point that your one might be more realistic, but we're here to dream. First of all. Secondly, I feel like your one fits better in the second category, console seller. I feel like Demon Souls is a game that now stands to be incredibly popular because of everyone jumped on at Dark Souls onwards. So they got on the From Software train after Demon Souls, which was quite hard to play on the PS3. So I feel like that game being out there, having a From Software game available at launch is going to be massive. It'll be a huge attraction for people. Whereas your game, I feel like, is a no-given at this point, but works better as a system seller.
Look, in an alternate reality where we got anything other than the absolutely gorgeous cinematic trailer for the Demon Souls remake, I would agree with you. I would think that would be awesome. But Miles Morales is tentatively scheduled for this year. And people are going to want to play it. People are going to want to buy it. It's going to be an awesome exclusive on PlayStation 5 because of it.
But I do agree with Tam that it fits better in a different category. So let's put a pin in Miles Morales, not literally. I'm going to say my vote here is Demon Souls for console exclusive.
You're lying to yourself.
Yes.
You're lying to yourself.
No. Because I would say the next category is more... what's a different word than exclusive? More prestigious. Prestigious?
Prestigious. Prodigious?
I would consider this category, console seller, to be more important. Jordan, you go for Miles Morales. I picked Watch Dogs Legion just because Watch Dogs Legion is, like, it was hugely popular when it came out on last gen, current gen, whatever you want to call it, PS4 and Xbox One. So I feel like it might have the same selling power again as a console seller. Tam, you've picked Dreaming Again.
Yeah, I'm dreaming again. I picked Horizon Forbidden West because I like to dream. However, I will say that Miles Morales fits here better purely because everyone knows Horizon's a good game and Aloy, everyone loves her. But if you put Aloy and tall neck robot thing next to each other...
What did you call me?
You heard. I've called you it before and I will call you it again. Stack them two next to Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and ask someone which one of these two makes you more want to buy a console. It's Spider-Man every single time. So I feel like as a console seller, Miles Morales works better.
I will settle for that. I will say though, I don't agree with your opinions, Tam, but I would love to live in your reality where we're getting Demon Souls and Horizon at launch
Jordan.
for PlayStation 5.
All right, let's move on to Gas Games as a Service. Gas. I picked Warzone. So, for context, we don't know anything. Like, I assume there's a new card this year. They are teasing the crap out of stuff, sending people packages. We're recording this before anything has been announced.
Meanwhile...
So we know that game is, they've talked about it in the past. They want to support it ongoing. It also makes a hilarious amount of money. COD and PlayStation have a lot. Like they got a sweet little relationship going. I think there'll be a lot of pros and benefits to playing it on PS5. Tam, what's your selection?
Activision also, or Bungie specifically.
I was going to say, hang on.
Broken up.
Friendship ended
with Activision. I am my own best friend now. Bungie has a pretty good relationship with, in terms of content with PlayStation as well, and I feel like Destiny 2 could be a great one for them. It's already, at least the Gas game that has got the most mind share. And I imagine like at a time when there's a decent amount of games, but not a lot of amazing, like immediately known quantities out there. a Destiny would be super appealing, especially if they launch with the promised, upgrade path and the next gen updates and bells and whistles. I think a lot of people who may have missed out on jumping on the Destiny train up until this point may be a little more enticed to get on board with it now that Bungie has created like a new entry point for them thanks to the new generation of consoles. So my vote goes to Destiny 2.
I say originally, the cheeky part of my brain was like, what if Anthem 2.0 comes out for next gen consoles? But I have to agree with Tam. It's got to be Destiny 2 for PlayStation 5. I'm sorry, Lucy. Why would you pick the second best battle royale when you could pick the best first-person loot shooter on consoles? It's got to be Destiny 2.
Oh, just because I've missed the boat with Destiny 2, and I just like Warzone because it's got so many British people. Like, stop enough mucking about. Love it. All right, let's move on to indie darlings. You have to say it like that. Yeah, that's the law. I picked Maquette, which is a really interesting looking game. Very much up my street. It's basically like Russian nesting dolls. That's how the level is set up, where it's like a smaller version of the level is within each level. And so you can take things from like a bigger version of the level and use it to solve puzzles in the smaller version, vice versa. I think changes you make in one version will be made in the bigger version or the smaller version. It's really cool. It reminded me a lot of, stacking. It has a really cute art style too. And it's just very much up my street. I'm very excited about it. So I picked Maquette. Jordan?
I knew The Distant Light. It's a small little game that doesn't have too much traction, but it reminds me of Hollow Knight. It's a bit more of a shooter than a hack and slash, and I just want a new Metroidvania to play on a next-gen console. That's all I really want. But I think, thinking about it, Tam's choice is probably going to be the one that we go with, just because it has the most hype behind it.
Because it has the catchiest jingle.
I, of course, have picked Drug Snacks, because it is the game that has the most hype behind it right now. It is the indie darling of modern gaming right now. So I feel
still don't understand. It's like an acid trip to see every single trailer for this game. What do people see in this?
It's the potential that it holds, and as we have already established, Jordan, you're very bad at dreaming big. But Drug Snacks.
Saying that for the wild card. We'll be saying that for wild card.
Drug Snacks. It just makes a lot of sense because one, people are taking Snapchat filters, or not Snapchat, Instagram filters of themselves, posting it endlessly, and the Kero Kero Bonito song is getting played non-stop, and everyone's just talking about Drug Snacks. So I feel like it's a very safe bet to say that's a dream scenario to have Drug Snacks available day one.
Well, it's weird because we kind of used wildcard for exclusive, but this is a true wildcard. All the games that we used in exclusive, we know are coming at some point. Wildcard means you can pick any defunct franchise, any whisper, any rumor, and that's your pick. So I've picked Overwatch 2 because, God, I know BlizzCon's been cancelled this year, but they're also not making any heroes for current Overwatch, and kind of play a lot of Overwatch.
I totally forgot that game's even coming out. What are they doing with Overwatch 2?
But no, if that would be my wildcard prediction, that it's it just gets dropped holiday this year. I would absolutely love it, and oh yes please. But Tam, what's your wildcard prediction?
You know what my wildcard prediction is. There it is, baby. It's Bloodborne. It's back for episode 2. I will say Jordan's pick is actually probably what I'm super excited about, but in my heart, if they just put out a little itty bitty patch for me, I'd be very happy. Just improve the loading times, maybe stabilize the frame rate in some areas, and you just make the perfect version of Bloodborne. That's all I want.
Perfect version of the perfect game. Jordan.
Overwatch and Bloodborne. Who could have possibly predicted that you two would pick those two games?
What's your pick?
So, stick with me on this. Mass Effect, updated graphics, maybe update the combat system because it's a little old at this point.
Ooh, baby.
Mass Effect 2, Mass Effect 3.
Love it.
And Andromeda.
No!
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
You should have stopped early.
All together in Mass Effect Quadrilogy. All 4 games, next-gen graphics, updated combat on the old games.
I would, oh my god, I would lose it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, for context for me, I never finished Andromeda. It didn't grab me as much. I think it's because I wanted it too much to be like the original trilogy, and I maybe didn't give it its fair shake. But if it were to come to a new console, looking all shiny and new, bugs fixed,
you would try it. You would at least
I would try it, but I would 100% do a trilogy run first.
Oh yeah, you have to do it in order. But that would be awesome. Just a great surprise launch. Like, oh yeah, PlayStation 5's out today, and you can play all 4 Mass Effect games on it. Oh.
Here you have the next generation of Ryder looking like he's gonna murder you while in your sleep constantly.
They have fixed most of the bugs, Tam. You have to let the launch version of that game go.
I took time out of work to play that.
He did.
It was your job to take time.
No, I took a day off, which you realize how rare that is for me to do. Take a day off dedicated to a game. I was like,
so our dream launch lineup for PS5 before hands are thrown and social distancing is broken. For PS5, we've got Demon's Souls, Miles Morales, Destiny 2, Bug Snacks, god damn it, and Mass Effect Quadrilogy. Like, okay.
dreams can come true, Jordan.
Dreams.
If all those games were available on PlayStation 5 at launch.
Ooh, baby, a triple.
A quintuple.
A PS.
A quintuple.
Triple.
All right, let's talk about Xbox Series X and do the same in those categories. So first category,
exclusive.
Jordan, you and I have picked the same one again, because great minds. The Medium by Bloober Team.
Yeah.
Oh, it just looks really cool.
I'm getting mad, like, Control, but more supernatural vibes off of it, and I want to play it so bad.
Yeah, me too. Whereas Tam, again, really
dreaming. I'm out here dreaming. I'm dreaming. Call me Morpheus. Call me Tomorpheus. I am the Dream Weaver. I have picked Fable, the worst kept secret in UK video game development. If at any point over the last 10 years or 5 years or whatever it may be, you had a UK address, you probably received a crumpled up piece of paper through the mail that says, new Fable is in development.
It's Playground.
I was talking to my granddad once and he was like, son, you're an abject failure. And also, did you know that Fable's coming back? And I was like, yes, granddad, I did. Both of those. I knew those. But yeah, Fable's been in development at Playground for an extended period of time. We've only seen a CG trailer for it, and I feel like that in my heart is because Microsoft is just pacing themselves. They're spacing the beats out and dreaming right now.
Or maybe it's not even close to being done, Tam. If I'm dreaming, close to being done.
I don't understand why you don't let me dream. If I'm dreaming, if they came out and went, all right, Fable's going to be there day one, that would be incredible.
That would be incredible. You know what? I'm going to allow it.
Why are you allowing him to dream like this?
Because we've got nothing else going on, Jordan. We need to dream. And also, I'm British, so I'm contractually obligated to say Fable.
Support the other Brit.
Let's move on to console seller. I picked Cyberpunk. I know, obviously, it is a third-party title. That was my really, really terrible Keanu Reeves impression.
That was Keanu Reeves after 7 packs of cigarettes.
Cyberpunk. I can't do it. I'm British. Anyway, I picked Cyberpunk because although it's multi-platform, I feel like because Xbox have like the marketing tie-ins, you know, you can get the Cyberpunk Xbox One and all the controllers and stuff. I feel like maybe some people's minds will be like, oh yeah, I want to play on the Xbox Series X. So that would be a dream for me. But Tam, what do you got?
I was originally going to go for Assassin's Creed Valhalla because one, Assassin's Creed traditionally does really well, especially when they're in the launch window. We've had that happen a few times. And they're also supporting the consoles from the outset instead of coming up with a patch that will be delivered later on down the line like Cyberpunk is. However, like indie darling drug snacks, Cyberpunk is very much in the zeitgeist right now. There's few games out there that have as much hype pushing it forward as that game, so I feel like for a lot of people that might be enough to be a console seller. Like, you want to play the next game from CD Projekt Red, critically acclaimed studio, massively ambitious game, get the console that's supposed to be super powerful, get that game and you're sorted. I feel like that's a good, compelling system seller proposition there.
Jordan?
Yeah, I was originally going to go with Crossfire X because I'm like, well, Halo Infinite's delayed, so maybe Microsoft can kind of promote this game as their story-based first-person shooter, but Tam, you're right, like, Cyberpunk is the game that has all the hype this year, and to Lucy's point, if Xbox came out and they were like, oh yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 looks best on Series X, that could probably move a system or two.
Could sway a few people. Let's talk about games. Sorry, I almost mispronounced it. Let's talk about gas. Let's talk about games as a service. I've actually picked Crossfire X for this, although I kind of feel like a fraud in doing so because the thing that has got me excited about Crossfire X is the single player campaign, which Remedy are making. I'm not really interested in the multiplayer, but it could be really interesting. I'm interested to see where it goes with it. Like, it has a huge fan base. It has been well known for years. I'm interested to see what a brand new one looks like. Tam, what you got?
I think it's ironic that for once Microsoft's butt prevented the release of toxic gas. That was just a Simpsons reference, just shoehorned in there because I hope you enjoy
Evan
that.
has to find that clip.
And I think it's ironic that for once Dad's butt prevented the release of toxic gas.
I was gonna go with Sea of Thieves. It's come a long way. It's a much different game. Of course, I cannot play it because the gentle sway of the sea makes me sick. But
you landlubber. I can't talk. It makes me sick too.
Yeah, I'm very landlocked. But there's a lot to already play within that game, and I think it's included as part of Game Pass as well. If they like upgraded it a bit and did like a promotional kind of campaign around it again to be like, hey, there's this amazing pirate game out that you can play with all your pals, and also it's available for free if you subscribe here. I feel like that's a pretty good spot to be in.
Jordan?
Yeah, easy peasy. Master Chief Collection. If Halo Infinite's not going to be there at launch, just promote the hell out of the 4, 5, 6 Halo games that you have on Series X at launch then. I can't think of any better game for a games as a service for Xbox.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. I think Master Chief Collection.
Is that a games as a service though? It's kind of, I guess you could.
They're adding weapon skins to it now, so it's like you can do challenges and things like that.
I'm gonna, you know what, Jordan? I'm gonna allow you to dream because I am that kind of person.
That is not a dream. It is a game we know will be playable on Series X.
Let's move on to indie darlings. I don't know why I like it. My voice gets
very Joanna Lumley. I'm into
Thank you. I picked 12 minutes. Annapurna. Everything they touch turns to gold, and it's usually something that's my I'm really intrigued by 12 minutes. I love the kind of Groundhog Day feeling vibes. You know the vibes. Tam, what about you?
Oh, I have picked, after Drug Snacks as an indie darling, there's one game that sticks out to me, and it is, of course, The Gunk. I think we all need the answer to the question, what are you going to do with all that gunk inside your trunk?
Disgusting!
I think this is it. Yeah, the gunk gets sucked up into some sort of vacuum like Luigi's Mansion style. But I feel like, yeah, that's a game that has also gathered a lot of steam, and it looks really interesting. It looks really cool. I think I'm right in saying it's from the SteamWorld team, which has a great history of producing really good games, really interesting games. If I'm wrong, Jordan, please do the big family feud style. The gunk looks really cool. I'm excited to check that out, and I feel like it stands out in a way, and also has a lot of backing and momentum behind it.
Say, isn't that a small dream that you have there? Isn't that game scheduled for 2021?
Oh, now you want to criticize my small dreams. I can't dream big, I can't dream small.
It's a small dream.
What's going on? Jordan, what's your pick?
I'm going for The Veil, a game that is tentatively scheduled for Xbox for 2020. Game where you play as a woman who's blind, but it's the same like whole RPG stick where you're kind of like traveling from town to town and shopping and interacting with people and choosing dialogue options. You just can't actually see anything, which is cool, which is fascinating. I don't think it's going to do that well on Xbox. I don't know how you advertise a game that's in pretty much a black screen the entire time, but if Xbox can figure out a way to do that, and if they promote it, it would be awesome. But just thinking about it, 12 minutes is probably the safer option, because Xbox has been promoting that for years now, and everyone kind of seems a little bit excited for it. And like you said, Lucy, Annapurna just doesn't miss. Like, they haven't produced a bad game yet.
I think I'm willing to give it to 12 minutes as well, purely because they use the carpet from the Overlook Hotel in the trailer, so gotta support the Shining fans.
Yep. Alright, and finally, wildcard. I kind of did a High School Musical Wildcats thing there, I'm very sorry. I, inspired by Jordan, have picked Mass Effect Quadrilogy just because I'm trying this like law of attraction. What is it? Visualize what you want and put it out into the world and
chaos magic.
This is our year.
This
is finally the year that we get those HD remakes of Mass Effect.
Oh man, I would.
Kill a man?
No, I wouldn't kill a man. I would. I don't know what I'd do. Come back to me with that. But I would absolutely adore just to revisit those games again. But I did play through Mass Effect 2 a few months ago, and I was like, God, if this was, shiny graphics and like little tweaks to the gameplay, a lot of tweaks to the gameplay for Mass Effect 1, but I would love to experience that story again. So that's my pick for a wild card. I can dream, please, EA.
You can dream for wildcard. I don't care about dreams here.
This is the dreamland. Tam, what about you?
I'm gonna do something controversial, and I'm gonna improve upon your suggestion there, and I'm gonna do the Mass Effect trilogy.
Why do you continue to deny that Andromeda is a decent game, Tam?
What we do is we take 3 of the greatest RPGs ever created, put them in one package, drop the dead weight, and then just put that out there. This perfect thing.
Why are you making the deal worse? You are taking away a game.
It's going to get reviewed, and then people are going to go, we've got 3 of the best Mass Effect games of all time, better than ever. They also put in Andromeda for some reason. We're going to have to give it a 2.
And maybe people would play it again and be like, you know what? We gave it a really negative
You know what? PB still sucks.
Oh my God.
You know what? I walked into this room and there's 7 Krogans looking at each other.
I'm sorry that PB isn't as good as Liara. Andromeda wasn't going to be as good as the first trilogy.
It wasn't even close.
I'm gonna...
It wasn't...
Hey, boys. I'm gonna, like a cat, spray you with some water bottles to get you to back off. Look, like what you like. Tam, I'm gonna veto that because it's quadrilogy. You get another game. It's fine. Jordan, what's your pick for wildcard?
Alright, this one is for you, Alessandro. It's gotta be Hollow Knight Silksong, which is only technically confirmed for PC and Switch, I know. But imagine if Series X came out and on day 1 they're like, oh, and by the way, there's a next-gen version of this game on Xbox. I would lose my I love Hollow Knight so much, and I've been waiting for Silksong all year. Team Cherry has said it's definitely coming in 2020. 2020 is halfway over, and I need something good to feel something in this crappy year. I haven't loved anything so far. Give me Hollow Knight. Give me another Hollow Knight.
May I suggest Bloodborne?
I guess I could play Bloodborne again.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think...
But new Hollow Knight. New Hollow Knight.
But we know that I'm not crushing your dreams here.
I will.
It sounds like you're about to, and you're about to go with Mass Effect.
I would prefer Mass Effect. Well, because I couldn't get into Hollow Knight. I suck.
I'll get behind Mass Effect. I can get behind Mass Effect.
I also, you know what? I support your dreams, Jordan. But ultimately, I also support Mass Effect. So
that's fine. Mass Effect is fine. I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to playing through the quadrilogy again.
Before Tam comes up with a retort, so let's go through our final picks. So for Series X, we've got Fable, Cyberpunk 2077, the Master Chief Collection, 12 minutes, and the Mass Effect quadrilogy. I don't even want to rate between the two, between like PS5 and Xbox Series X. I just think we're all the winners if that lineup happened, but it was a dream thing that we came up with, so probably won't.
Everyone wins. Everyone wins.
No, I think also that was just a fun thing to just like remember some of the games that are coming out later this year, revisit some of the games that are already out, but we get to play on new consoles. Please let us know what you think of our dream launch lineups in the comments below, and please come up with your own. We'll be in the comments and judging them appropriately. But also, like, it's fun, especially for indie darling, to go through games that were announced and like I've just forgotten about. But now, when I was researching this, I was like making notes about stuff I want to play later this year. So I encourage you all to do the same. Thank you so much for joining us on this second episode of Generation Next. We will, of course, be back again next Friday, youtube.com/GameSpot. In the meantime, Tam, where can people find you?
You can find me in a dark corner of Boletaria getting high on drug snacks and on Twitter at Tamoor H.
Jordan?
You can find me on Twitter at Ramée, where we stan Mass Effect Andromeda and talk about how pretty it is.
And I'm on Twitter at Lucy James Games, who never finished Mass Effect Andromeda, but I'm considering giving it another go. I don't know why I did that. Like, weird thing at the end. But you know what? We're just gonna roll with it. Thanks for watching. See you next week.